Eat the rainbow is a marketing term. That's not good health advice. There is no reason that humans should eat the rainbow, to try to eat as varied and as wide a diet. The only possible benefit of that is if you're eating a predominantly plant-based diet, which by definition is going to be devoid of many, many nutrients that you need, and a long list of nutrients that can only be found in animal-based foods. Then maybe you do need to eat the rainbow. You do need to eat stuff from every continent on Earth that's been shipped over on cargo ships or cargo planes. Maybe you do need to do that. But if you're eating a species-appropriate, proper human diet, you don't need to eat the rainbow. And the big food corporations, guess what? Hint, hint, they're going to make less money if you don't eat the rainbow and eat all these varied, wide foods that they've trucked in and shipped in from all over the world. It's going to hurt their profits. And so they're not for that. But if you eat just a very narrow list of foods that human beings have been eating for thousands of years, and many of my detractors will say, oh, that's an appeal to nature or an appeal to history. No, it's an appeal to biology. Just like the cow has been successfully eating only grass for millions of years. And it's not only are cows optimized when they eat only grass, their reproductive fitness is improved. Everything about them is optimized when they eat only grass. So it would be like a veterinarian coming up with this new line of cow food saying, oh, no, cows should eat the rainbow. We've got a little salmon in there for the cows, and we've got some herbs from Asia, and we've got some roots from South America. These cows need to eat the rainbow. That'd be a great marketing ploy, right? You might make millions of dollars feeding cows the rainbow, but are you going to improve the cow's health? No, the cows figured this out long ago. And they don't stray from that because they want to be healthy, just like every human watching this wants to be healthy. There's a diet for our dogs and cats. The rate of obesity in dogs and cats is through the roof right now. Is it because we're feeding them too much meat and fish and eggs? It's because we're feeding them grain-based, pea-based kibble that the big pet food manufacturers are making millions of dollars a year off of. They have a big ad budget. They tell you how healthy this is for your beloved pet. And now all the cats are diabetic and going blind and having kidney failure. All the dogs are so fat that now there's a market for stairs, for doggy stairs, for your dog to get up on the bed. Right? Now, if you got a Chihuahua, okay, get your dog some stairs. But if you've got a medium to large sized dog and they're so fat that you have to build or buy doggy stairs for them, they're not eating a proper dog diet. If your cat's diabetic, you're not feeding your cat a proper cat diet. It's just that simple. Cats don't develop type 2 diabetes just for the hell of it, just for kicks and giggles. Dogs don't develop kidney failure and diabetes and obesity just for the fun of it. They're developing those things because of the marketed food that you're ignorantly but lovingly feeding your pet. Stop that. Dogs are facultative carnivores, meaning that the majority of their food should be meat. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning anything you feed them that is not meat is going to directly harm their health. And so anybody listening, if you think that you're helping your pet or helping the world by making your dog or cat a vegan, that's actually pet abuse. You may not be meaning to abuse your cat or your dog, but it's 100% pet abuse. And please stop that. We have people who eat only ruminant animals. This is a subset of the carnivore diet called the lion diet. And I only recommend it for people with multiple autoimmune conditions or very, very severe autoimmune conditions or severe inflammatory conditions where you eat only ruminant meat, which in modern society would be cow, sheep, goat. That's the three ruminants that you can usually buy at a supermarket. Now, you may have to go to the Asian or the Hispanic market to get the goat or to get the sheep sometimes, but I notice more and more you're able to get sheep, especially lamb chops. Everybody thinks that's the only cut of meat on a sheep, but there's not. But those are ruminants, and that's a special kind of meat because they have a multi-chamber stomach that really does magical things. Unless you really want to dig into bovine physiology, let's just call it magic, because what their stomach is able to turn grass and weeds into, it's magical how they can do it. And they have the help of trillions of bacteria to do it. But the chicken and fish are fine, I think, for carnivores, but they're monogastrics, which means they only have one chamber in their stomach, a lot like us. And so they're able to eat a much broader, diverse, they're able to eat the rainbow, Jesse. But what winds up happening is their meat is not quite as healthy as ruminant meat. And so that there might be another lesson in there somewhere. But I think for the average person, chicken and pork and turkey and other fowl and other animals are totally fine to eat, unless you've got severe inflammatory conditions or severe autoimmune conditions, in which case you need to look into that subset of the carnivore diet, which is the lion diet. The person eating the lowly diet of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs that's available in every supermarket. And I'm not talking about the expensive pastured grass-fed. I'm talking about the cheap beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. They are actually going to be receiving more nutrition from those four foods than our group of people who are eating every root, every berry, every leaf from all 6 continents of planet Earth where plants will grow. They're going to be getting more nutrition with that very simple, very easy, and quite affordable diet. And I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I will help fund that study. If there's a vegan out there, a big vegan influencer who watches Jesse, I bet there's 2 or 3. And you're like, Dr. Berry's full of crap. There's no way. Let's go. Let's raise the funds and let's do that study. And I think that the poor vegans will be very disappointed in the results.